Let's get some prize picks in today, guys. Last night was terrible. We only hit on Cade Cunningham over 7.5 assists. As you see, Ivy and Duran were close to getting their points props, but not good enough. The Pistons did not do very well last night. And then we got Paul George here, under 33.5 PRA. This was looking pretty good, but then he got a little bit of garbage time minutes and ended up going over. Tatum ended up pushing, and Drew Holiday DNP. I do think if Holiday played, Tatum would have maybe got like 7 rebounds, probably would have went under here. That was kind of the goal I was going with Drew Holiday playing. So overall, not a good slip, -1 unit there. So we got onto the board for today. I do have a 6-man and I have some replacement picks because I'm going to start it off with this tennis play here on Madison Keys. We're going to be grabbing her under 22.5 total games. The reason I'm giving my replacement picks later is this game starts at 3 p.m. So about 3 hours from when I'm filming. If you guys are seeing this a bit later, just take one of those replacements that I'll show a bit later in the video. So Madison Keys, pretty simple reason we're grabbing her. Her total games is juiced towards the under at -125. It's juiced even higher on other sports books. So we definitely want to be on Madison Keys under 22.5 total games. Just a simple positive EV pick as we normally do. Now we're going to go over to the NBA and we're going to be doing a quad stack again like we did last time on this Orlando game. Last time it was versus the Hornets, which was this one right here, right? We went Nick Richards under points, Banchero under points, Wendell Carter Jr. under PRA, and Brandon Miller under points, which almost hit. It was looking good, super low pace game, which is what we were going for. And if we compare this to what we have tonight versus the Pelicans, yes, there's a -3 spread, but again, we have that low pace game, 208 total, which is quite low. And we're doing things a bit differently now. We're not just grabbing points. We're going to be grabbing rebounds too on Zion and stuff like that. So I'll just get into the slip right now. I was going to start it off with Ingram on his under 18.5 points, but it seems like he literally just got bumped because I just put the slip in 5 minutes ago and already he's down to 18. And the reason that was a good pick, obviously on the sports picks, he's at 17.5. There's no reason he should really be at 18.5. 18 is still decent just because the sports got 17.5. So I guess this is one time that I'd maybe take the bump. I'll check out his PRA if it's a bit better, but if we check down here, Brandon Ingram PRA 28.5 actually has juice towards the over. So I think the under 18 points is still better than the under 28.5 PRA. Unfortunate on that. Sorry that this got bumped, but it is what it is when I'm filming these videos. So we're going to go Brandon Ingram, and to pair up with this, we're going with Zion on his under 6 rebounds. Okay, this is still here. Good. No bumps there. And Zion basically is set at 5.5 on the sports books. We're getting him at 6, so we're getting a half point of protection as always. So 5.5, yes, juice towards that over. But the difference between 5.5 and 6.5 is quite big, especially on the rebounds department. So it's a very good pick at the under 6. And for the Orlando players, we're going to go with Wendell Carter Jr. on his under 11.5 points. And we're going to match this up with Banchero on his under 33.5 PRA. Let's take a look at both Wendell Carter and Banchero here. So for the points, you see right away, Wendell Carter Jr. at 10.5 with juice towards the over. We're getting him at 11.5. Again, when you're lower on the scale, so when you're comparing like 30.5 points to 10.5 points, there's a massive difference between that 1 point. It's not as drastic between 20.5 and 21.5, but 10.5 and 11.5 is pretty important. So that's a big advantage we're getting on that under 11.5. If we check Banchero, there's no line discrepancy. Like we're not getting him at 34.5. We're getting him at 33.5, and the juice is towards the under. So again here, if we get that nice low-pace game that we're going for, Pelicans versus Orlando, both low-pace teams, and we're hoping basically on the Pelicans, Ingram's not the one scoring, maybe he's assisting more, maybe Zion's getting more points, CJ's getting more points. And over on Orlando, it's okay if Banchero scores, but just hopefully he's not scoring too much, and then maybe Wagner's kind of holding the weight, maybe Suggs, maybe other players on the team, so that these guys are lagging behind. And Wendell Carter, he can still get points as long as he's not getting over 11.5, right? It's still very possible for these guys to have decent usage but still go under their props, right? All we need is for him to get like 10 points and maybe 30 PRA on this case, and they still go under. So that is the first 5 picks. To end it off, we're going over to the Chicago Bulls, and we're grabbing Vucevic on the under 12 rebounds. So you see right here, he's set at 11.5 with juice towards the over. We're getting him at 12, so we get that half point of protection. Now, normally I don't like to have so many push lines in this entry, so I did like when Brandon Ingram was at 18.5. Now we have 3 push lines, so it could revert down to like a 4 or 5 flex, which is unfortunate, but we just got to work through the bumps here since only Ingram was bumped down slightly. I still think it's a good slip, even though I locked in Ingram at 18.5 points. That is the only difference between my slip and the slip I just went over. It's just the bump on Ingram.